There's a new face in the paddock this weekend too. Japanese GT racer Ryo Arimi is the first man from Asia to race a V8 Ute. A very different machine compared to his works Mazda RX-7 Super GT car back home.
This is a very new racing to me. I check YouTube and I find that it's very exciting racing. So my goal is to finish a race. That is my goal.
Well, the Armour All Pole Position Award for this final round of 2010 goes to the fourth different driver this year, a veteran. Charlie O'Brien gets his first pole in his first year of Ute racing at $1,000 with thanks to Armour All.
To Race 1 highlights now, and Jack Elsgood needed a good result to back his qualifying position if he was to have any chance of catching Grant Johnson for the series title.
Watch for them all to fan out. The run to turn one. A little bit of a funnel here. Elsgood's parked on the outside line. And look at Grant Johnson rounding up Gary Baxter.
And Jero Gray cuts the corner as well. Oh, he's going to miss everyone, but he's going to ruin the run of Chris Pither as well, heading up to turn 2.
Icebreak in-car with Chris Pither. Look out. Roll Harris down the outside as well. But Charlie O'Brien, age shall not weary him.
No, he's had a fantastic start. He said he'd do it before the end of the year, and now he's doing it. This is the nervous part. Into turn 2 for the first time. Everyone looks like they're getting through.
It didn't take long for the narrow street circuit to take its toll.
DBA in-car, Jack Elsgood. It's so slippery here on this first lap. Baxter right in behind, then Grant Johnson. So the championship combatants are all among the same part of...
Oh, no!
David Cedars, Nandy Kiss, and that's Ryo Arimi. The Japanese guest driver has got huge damage there.
And that's a result of that cold tyres you were just talking about in the slippery conditions. Look at the rear suspension. It's been ripped out of the car.
Forget cold tyres, there's no tyres.
Oh, Kim Jane too. Oh. This keeps happening to him, Aaron. It happened at the Gold Coast at Armour All. There's Cedars as well. McDonald as well in the Icebreak car.
Righto. Yokohama replay. Arimi goes in himself. McDonald, Jane, Cedars.
Oh, boy.
They've all got nowhere to go. Wrong place, wrong time.
Oh, that's terrible. Nandy Kiss taking some great evasive action, as does Andrew Fisher. And there's Carson coming through. Everyone's got it in their eyes there, but here we go on board again with Cedars. Oh, what a hit.
Oh, and no time to react. No chance at all. Let's have a look again. Arimi just understeers into the fence, and that turn 8 caught out a lot of drivers last year. It's caught out a whole pile. And Andy Kiss here, he was going in deep himself, so it was probably the best thing he could have done.
Yeah, and look, he was pretty smart there. He just knew he wasn't going to make it, and the lesser of two evils was just to nudge the barrier there. But Ryo Arimi there, that is a massive shunt. Here he is just getting out of the car, waving to the crowd there. He looks a little ginger, but, oh, no, he doesn't look too bad.
That car, though, no doubt that's done for the weekend. It is toast. Kim Jane and David Cedars down load on. What on earth just happened there? It all happened so quickly. But we are under safety car here at Sydney Olympic Park, and have a look at the damage. That is scary. And Scott Jennings' wallet, it'll be feeling it. He owns that car.
He does, and he's the team manager for Paul Morris Motorsport, and that is, in fact, going to bring out the checkered flag as well. So Charlie O'Brien will take the win at race 1 in the final round here of the Yokohama V8 Ute Racing Series.
So Jack Elsgood second, Baxter third, Grant Johnson next, Reese McNally in fifth, Pither Dontis and Ben Cabbage round out the top 10 in one of the shortest races you'll find anywhere.
And Cedars was looking good for third in the championship, but look at that damage. That will be it.
After a bad qualifying and now a bad race, it's really put a big dent in our championship hopes to try and get second. Third is still on the table there between me and Fish, and by both me and Fisher DNFing that race, it sort of brings Pither into the frame. So now it's a 3-0 fight for third, and I think the top two are pretty well sealed now.
Just have a look back as the cars roll through the warm-up lap. Grant Johnson is at the rear of the grid. He's been excluded from the qualifying results and obviously the points, as well as race 1, so he'll start from 31st. That is a real blow. He only leads by 20 points now.
And look, the part that was on the car, Aaron, wasn't performance enhancing at all. It was just a brake component that shouldn't have been there, and we're very tight on our rules, so he's been disqualified.
Well, we're obviously very shattered. Got a lot of people from Brunel Energy over here, and we just got to start from the rear. And sorry.
Well, the emotions are running high at Sydney Olympic Park. The championship leader has watched his lead disappear almost overnight, and now he has to start at the back of the field, and his rival, Jack Elsgood, will start from 14th. Let's have a look at the order. Gary Carson goes to pole. Remember, the top 15 are inverted. Peter Burnett joins him on the front row. And keep an eye on Randy Corners too. He's always a bit of a factor.
Absolutely. He's been great this weekend. Reece McNally, one of our rookies, starts out of 12th. Jack Elsgood, there you go, second in the championship, starting from 14th.
16th, Marty Miller back in the championship here this weekend. Warren Millett's back in the pack. George Elliott missed this round last year after some back surgery. He's back on the track. One man who's not, Rio Remy. That car is absolutely...
That's toast.
It's devastated. So Grant Johnson, he is 31st on the grid, but there are a few cars that he won't have to pass that will not take the start. So green flag at the back. Critical race in the championship. Absolutely huge. The second race of the weekend. Plenty of points on the line. Let's get it running. Gary Carson from pole in the number 13 machine. Peter Burnett alongside, who's really been coming to grips with the street tracks in recent times. And look at Randy Corners inching down the inside on Ben Dunn.
SS Inductions on board with Johnson down into turn 1. Have a look at him pass all these cars. He started dead smoking motherless last, and he's up to the 44 car of Willis. That's 9 cars, Aaron, before turn 1.
He is fired up, he's passionate, he's emotional. Stand back.
Here we go down into turn 2. Will they make it cleanly through? They've seen what can happen on cold tyres at this second. Oh, big lock up down the back there. The guys have been instructed to go in nose to tail. They're not listening. Back on board, SS Inductions with Johnson. Didn't get the run on Willis, but now comes out of the bus stop.
So out in front, Gary Carson leads. Burnett's next, then Ben Dunn, then Randy Corners, then Charlie Kovacs, who had a bit of a crash in Friday practice and lost a lot of track time. They've repaired the Wilson Security Commodore. There it is. And it's nose to tail, single file. There's Jack Elsgood. He needs to start moving through the order.
Oh, he's got to make sure that Johnson is held back as far as he can be, and he can be up as far as he can be. He needs to win this race to be in with a chance.
We jumped on board there with the SS Inductions in-car. Craig Donis, they've found a bit of an electrical problem in that car and got some power back that they've been missing in the last few rounds. Now, Chris Pither, remember, has a sniff third place in the championship, so he needs to move his way through. He's up the inside on Ryle Harris, but in and around the railway station, I don't want to be here.
And gets squeezed by Gerard Gray. Very hard to pass here, especially on those cold tyres, Aaron.
Reece McNally down the inside. What an impressive rookie he's been. Won his first race in the last round on the streets of the Gold Coast, and now he's going door-to-door with Pither around the outside, but he's on the wrong side for this one. Turn 13, turns in the corner, and they got it done.
I think he's going to get the job done. You've got to get a good run off that corner as he squeezes Pither. Now he drops behind. On board now with Elsgood, the DBA on board.
And this guy nearly missed part of qualifying. He got told the wrong time and was stuck in traffic on Parramatta Road. Did make it onto the track, though, and did a good job.
Oh, he qualified right at the top of the field, so maybe a bit of anger in Elsgood's tank there helped him out. As we head now down towards turn 2, you can see Charlie O'Brien in the black car back there. He had to win this yesterday. We'll see what he can do down into turn 2 now. And just watch for Cabbage here, Aaron. He is having the race of his career in V8 Utes here.
Has had a very, very good weekend. Has had a lot of bad luck this year, but has really started to work his way around. We jump back aboard with the reigning champ. Remember, Jack Elsgood has not won a race all season. He won the round at Townsville, but didn't win a race to do it. Now the pressure is really on because Grant Johnson is picking his way through the order, and every time he passes a car, he earns back more points. And every time that Elsgood doesn't, he's losing points.
Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? I mean, that's what V8 Ute racing is all about. It all comes down to the wire every single year. Charlie Kovacs getting it sideways out of there. And talk about experience. 250 races for the mustachioed pilot this weekend. As Donis makes a great move on Randy Corners there in the Samboy car.
And look at this for a move. Ryle Harris is trying to snowplow his way by Ben Cabbage, who in turn is trying to go round the Isri Truck Seats car of Steve Hodges, Jeremy Gray, Reece McNally, Chris Pither, Jack Elsgood, Gary Baxter, nose to tail, side by side. It's probably not going to be good, is it?
Oh, here we go. Ryle Harris making a move on Hodges. Oh, and squeezes him towards the fence. Oh, Hodges back into him now.
And lifts. He could have easily put him in the fence.
Oh.
Look, Ben Cabbage was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now McNally slams into the side of Hodges too. Oh, look out.
No.
Unloaded into the fence and right front. There's damage there. The steering clearly is gone for the Western Australian.
Now, if you remember back at Clipsal 500, there was a fire under that car after a huge accident, so it's going to bookend the season on fire. Back on board, SS Inductions with Johnson getting squeezed down into turn 1.
Quite amazing that he's behind Charlie O'Brien. Charlie started 15th, Grant started 31st.
And we're only on lap 3. It's quite amazing.
Yokohama replay here, and this is Steve Hodges. He got the move on Menkavich, bit of a rub. McNally goes for the move, and Hodges doesn't expect it.
No, exactly, and this is what happens when you don't lift. Straight into the wall, and bang.
Back at Sydney Olympic Park, and there's been lots going on. David Sears, if you thought race 1 was bad, race 2 hasn't got any better.
Nandy Kiss, push, push, push through turn 1.
That wasn't a kiss, that was a full-on pash. Back to the front, and there's plenty of fights going on. This is, in fact, the mid-pack. Jack Elsgood there, the White Falcon, just pulling out. Behind is Charlie O'Brien. Behind them, that is Grant Johnson. He is within sight of Jack Elsgood. Now he's launching a move, and if he can get past Elsgood, he'll extend his points margin. Quite unbelievable.
Aaron, as I sit and watch this, after 10 years of watching V8 Utes, I've never seen a drive like this. It's the drive of a career from Johnson.
And look at Gary Baxter trying to get to Charlie O'Brien, who's down the inside. Johnson with a little bit of a lock-up, but he's on the right side here, the left-hand side, to hang on for this turn 12, and then the next left-handed turn 13 that takes them onto Australia Avenue for the run down pit straight.
And no one's given it to him. This has just been an absolutely superb drive. He has sized through the field, taken his chances, made some opportunities. That is the mark of a champion, Aaron. There's no doubt about it.
Out in front, Gary Carson continues to lead the way and is on target if he can keep this rolling to win his first Ute race. Jeremy Gray covering Chris Pither, who very easily could have unloaded him.
Well, we saw that back in Townsville with Cedars. It always ends badly when you go nose to tail like that. He's thought better of it. He's tucked in. Jero Gray had a fantastic year this year on debut. Randy Corners there. Pither and then Cavich still punching above his weight in the top pack.
Jack Elsgood's behind. This is the fight for 7th place with Jeremy Gray, who was a little naughty there, and Pither just gave him a small rub on the way down the straight. This is George Elliott in the fence.
And that's exactly where Kovacs went in practice on Friday. And look at that, it's taught the right front out. The PDW's all sundry.
There's Gray. Chris Pither launching the move on Randy Corners, the Sandboy Chips Commodore.
Great pass.
Randy's been around. He's done a bit of racing here and there. He's achieved a lot. A bit of a larrikin, really.
Well, he's got plenty of gold medals. He's got the World Jet Ski Championship at Lake Havasu in 1986. He's a World Downhill Skiing Championship. And look at this. Johnson makes the move, locks it up, goes wide.
Nearly took Menkavich out, but this is a guy who is so steaming. You can see the steam coming out the windows of this car. Now Charlie O'Brien. Jack Elsgood plays it a little bit safe. He's got to attack. He cannot stand around and collect points because it has not got him to the lead all year. He's got to race.
And I can't believe he was so genteel with Johnson, and now he's let Baxter past.
No, not yet.
Although, no, he's on the inside. He's going to hold him out.
He'll be right.
I just can't believe how he let Johnson pass there. I mean, this will let him back in the championship, Johnson. And now, SS Inductions on board. He lines up Randy Corners. Look at him. Left, right. What are you going to do, Johnson? Firing up the inside. Come on, son. You've done it so far.
Not here. Not at the chicane. You just don't do that here.
Come on.
But he's got real pace. He's got plenty of speed.
Look
at the run off the chicane that he's got on Randy Corners. He'll sneak. It's not quite the move here, but you can always poke out down after this next chicane through the bus stop section. Get the car to stop and poise here, turn right and ride the curb. He's got a lot more pace here.
Yeah, he's just got to bide his time with Randy. And in fact, you know, Randy's only here, and there he goes. Straight up the inside. Got to be careful that he doesn't understeer it into the wall like Rio Remy earlier in the weekend. And that's going to allow O'Brien to have a run at Randy as well. He's getting dive bombed from everywhere, Aaron. He won't be happy.
We've done nearly 2,000 kilometres of running this year in practice sessions, in qualifying, in races, and it's all come down to this. And what a time for Johnson to turn on this drive. Gary Carson leads the way. This is Ryle Harris with Craig Donis just in behind, the Thirsty Camel Commodore. They sit in 4th and 5th place.
And really, this is the first time we've seen any pace from Dontis all year. On board now, the Newlon on board, coming back onto Australia Avenue. But we focus back to that mid-pack. Randy Corners still under attack now from Elsgood and Baxter. Right there, you'll see Fisher in the background there, still trying to get up into 3rd place.
And the Cedars team, David Cedars, Andrew Fisher, both run by Cedars Racing. They just haven't been there this weekend. They haven't had the pace. Now, Elsgood will get a move here. He'll get some championship points. He'll go by Randy Corners, but he's got a margin now to get to Charlie O'Brien.
We go on Yokohama replay on board with Fisher there. And just in the runoff zone, that's Kovacs and Jero Gray in the Rockstar car. Now, that's a good thing for Elsgood and Johnson, Aaron.
Back on the streets of Sydney Olympic Park, and the fight, the charge, the recovery, call it what you will. Grant Johnson, from last on the grid, is hunting, and he's got to Craig Dondas. Dondas started 8th. Johnson started 31st.
And you can tell there, look at the drive that he got off that corner as Dondas locks the brake. Got a bit of a fright, I reckon, that Johnson was down the inside. They just didn't expect him to be there.
That was for 6th place, and Jack Elsgood is back in 10th. So, quite unbelievably, against the odds, Johnson is going to extend the championship margin in this race.
He's pulled a James Courtney, hasn't he? He's had everything working against him, and yet every time he gets to the end of the race, he's come out smelling like roses. It's been an unbelievable drive, Aaron. I've never seen anything like it.
Looking at Dontas here with Ben Cabbage and Charlie O'Brien, who went very close to the wall there.
Now, these two had history, the Newlon on board with Craig Donnas. If you remember last year, these two had a big coming together at turn 4, which trashed Cabbage's car.
Now, down the inside, O'Brien launches a big move. Got the job done, though. And Cabbage trying to get the run back. Down towards the chicane. Good stuff.
May have it, too. He's going to hold O'Brien out wide. Even though he came sliding off turn 1, he's going to hold him out wide. O'Brien's got no choice here. He's going to have to yield, or is he? Side by side through one. We haven't seen it all weekend.
I love your work. Oh, he's got to yield. He didn't even go near it.
That is unbelievable. We've not seen that all weekend. And how one of those cars is not in the fence, I'll never know.
We can get away with it this year because the wall on the exit on driver's right has been moved back, so there's a bit more road to play with. Elsgood here has got Gary Baxter right in behind him at the tail of this pack. 10th spot is Elsgood. There's Johnson. He is now on the tail of the winner of the last round. Chris Pither won the last round on the Gold Coast. He's been back to his native New Zealand to compete in the NZ V8 Ute Series. But Johnson is turning some fast lap times, and he is picking them off one by one.
Look at that. And not a lock brake, not anything. That was so super smooth and clean. His corner speed is unbelievable, especially off the corner. We're seeing it every time he passes someone.
His numbers this year have been phenomenal. 3 round wins, 9 race wins, 4 pole positions before this weekend. He has been the pace setter, the benchmark. He's also got the fuel cap open as well.
The windbreak. Can you imagine what's going on inside his helmet? Do you think he's thinking about race 3? Do you think he's thinking about the championship? Or do you think he's thinking, who's next?
All of the above, I'd say.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Gary Carson, we haven't seen much of him, but he's been out in front. Now, there's some big news coming for this team. You know what it is?
I don't.
He and wife Jamie are expecting their first child.
Ah, a go-kart Carson. Excellent.
Potentially so. Ben Dunn, very solid. Flow on the flag. Very well for Cedars Racing in this race. Yokohama replay. Warren Millett didn't get to the fence.
And again.
Oh, but he did have another go at it, and this time he got it. Not too much damage, though.
Would it be fair to say, Warren, wake up?
Oh, I think it's been said before, but it's probably fair call.
Jeez, look at this gaggle.
O'Brien hustling. Keen to get another spot. Remember, the grid for race 3 is the aggregate of the points so far from the weekend. So, at this rate, Charlie's looking good for pole.
And it's been his best round. He said right back at Winton, Matty, I will win a race and round this year. And I kind of thought, mate, you got no chance.
Look at the
Kiss in the background there.
Yeah, he's limping around, just trying to get out of the way. I think that was Ryle Harris who got through.
But I've got to say, the commitment from O'Brien, he's been away between Armorall 600 and here. He's lost 10 kilos. And have a look at the work on him.
There's Johnson continuing that charge. He's only got 1 lap to go at the end of this one.
That's it, man. He's given up.
Yeah,
look at that.
Not a good place to be parked, particularly if you're up the rear wing of another car in front.
And, of course, yellow flags there. You can't pass, so that's hobbled Elsgood. He can't pass Cabbage there. Cabbage continued to being a little bit spectacular there, sliding the car around.
1 lap to go. Gary Carson has another 3 kilometres between he and his first win in the V8 Ute Series.
Look at Ben Dunn just getting in the mirrors. He's got about 20 car lengths on him, does Carson, but he'll show the nose anyway.
Down to the chicane, 2, 3 and 4 for the run to turn 5 and the the fast sweeper that's caught so many out undone this weekend.
He's been great as we look at Carson on screen here. He used to own a Fujitsu team, of course, which two-time champion Damien White raced for, and then decided to sell the Fujitsu and come ute racing. So he's gone from team owner and team coach to driver to now race winner in the V8 Utes. It's a great story.
I tell you what, he's not there yet. Ben Dunn has closed in just a little bit on this final run home. Ryle Harris just in the background. The Gold Coast are running in third spot, and Ben Dunn is not done with yet.
No, and he's having probably his best season to date in the V8 Utes as well. Currently running inside the top 10 championship. Goes wide, makes a look.
He's trying to make him look in the mirror.
Locks it up
and it's
as well.
working, it's working. Look, he's right on his bumper bar now. It was the best strategy he could have done because it's got Carson a little bit nervous.
He's an ex-rugby player, so he's all about intimidation. He's done. He's got the lights on.
No,
no, can't do it.
Can't
Yellow
do it here.
flag for Kiss.
No, he should be safe here,
That's
really.
called it. There's no way that he can get past here unless he hits
Yeah,
Dunny, no.
It's all over. What it means is Gary Carson gets his first V8 Ute race win. Ben Dunn threw everything at him, at the wall, at the race. Ryle Harris third. Peter Bennett is fourth. But what about this? This is the driver of the year, Grant Johnson. When the championship's there to be won, he's gone from last to fifth and extended the margin on this man, Jack Elsgood, who will get to the line and he'll be 10th.
And do you reckon we won't see tears again? I mean, there'll be tears of joy instead of tears of despair this time. An unbelievable drive from the Brunel Energy car.
So, recapping the results, Carson gets his first race win. Charlie O'Brien gets pole for race 3 by virtue of that 7th place. Ben Cabbage, another great drive, and Donis in position 9. But Gary Carson got his first win on the board. It's been a year of firsts in the Yokohama V8 Ute Series.
Gary, that was a tough Utes race, but it's always good when you come out on top.
Yeah, especially around the streets of Homebush, it's always great to come out on top. But yeah, for Go Channel 88, this is our first victory, my first checkered flag, so I'm doing backflips inside here.
Grant, what a fight back for this championship from the rear of the grid to finish 5th. Amazing.
Yeah, we obviously had no choice. We had to kind of make it happen, and there was a couple of cars that came off, and they had a few incidents and stuff which kind of slowed them down. And a few of the guys, you know, just didn't turn in when I was next to them. I mean, it was hard, but just had to commit, and rather than kind of having a look, I had to make sure I was in there, and pretty much that's what I did.